Hey guys, I promised you a new series in this, and we're going to start this off today. And that is the spin-off on my son's series on the Digital Wasteland Gaming channel about will it work in Linux. Today we're going to talk about Office 365 or just Microsoft Office, however you want to call it. This is an ancient suite of Office tools for, pretty much every business has some ties where they need some of these particular tools. I have used Microsoft Word forever. Before that, I was using WordPerfect. I don't even know if WordPerfect exists anymore. But a little bit of PowerPoint. I used it to make certificates, and occasionally Excel, which was rare. The other ones, I never used Access or any of the other ones. But many people use them all, and a lot of people love them. And this, can be a stumbling block for people switching to Linux and getting away from the Windows 10 bloat, if nothing else. Because Windows 10 is a bloated, buggy mess. So, will Office 365 work in Linux? No, it will not. I do not know if you can install Wine, which is an interface that helps Windows programs run in Linux. I don't know if it will work in that or not. You can always certainly use it on the website, which is actually the way that Microsoft wants people to use Office today, is via the web application. The way that Windows is going, and actually partially the way Linux is going in some ways, is they want as much control of the situation as possible. So everything they want in the cloud. Now Linux has a division. There's a company that develops Linux operating system. My words aren't sticking with me exactly if I want to say this, and it's called Cloud Linux, in which they offer a service to have part of your operating system running on the cloud for monitoring purposes and better updates and things like that. Now Microsoft, eventually there will be virtually nothing on a hard drive in your system, and everything will be up in the cloud. In fact, the goal is for there to be no hard drives, and if you're not connected, you just don't have any functionality. So that is always an option, but I don't see them porting Office over to Linux in any meaningful way. Now, I would not be surprised, and I have heard that Windows 11 is going to be a Linux-based operating system. If that does happen, then yes, these things will end up being ported. But right now, it's hard to say. The reason that people don't want to go from Office is nobody really wants to deal with the learning curve of using a new product. And I'm here to tell you, deal with the learning curve. One of the things that you have to really think about in our technologically advanced world, and one that is getting technologically more advanced almost by the minute. We have made exponential leaps in technology in the last 5 years. But there's a price to be paid for that, and that price is people do less. People do less thinking, people do less study, they do a lot less of everything. The learning curve to go from Office 360 to LibreOffice would be good for you. There would be health benefits to it, building new neurons in the brain associated to memory, all of these things. This is all good for you. It's a little inconvenient, and you just really kind of have to get up and over the inertia of the situation and just do it. You won't be sorry. People who have switched to LibreOffice are thrilled with it. Now, I'm using LibreOffice. My office needs are very small, and I really didn't notice a whole lot of difference, except that I don't have a dark theme in there. Microsoft Office offers me a dark theme, which I really kind of liked. But I'm sure that if I actually maybe looked at the software a little bit closer, that might be in there too. Now, how I knew that Office had a dark theme is I got a message that said that. But LibreOffice covers absolutely everything. Covers absolutely everything that Microsoft Office does before it. Slightly different names. Most things that you will do come out of LibreOffice Writer, which we'll just load up here real quick. It's a fast program, loads excellent, and it comes pre-installed on Linux Mint, so you don't even have to do anything at that particular point in time if you go the Linux Mint route. Now, in this series, we're going to be talking about a lot of programs that you can find fantastic alternatives to in Linux if the program itself has not been ported. And a lot of programs that are around today have already been ported into Linux. So they run natively in Linux now, and we will go through all of those. But as you can see looking at this, the setup is very, very similar to the way Word is in Windows, and the power is all definitely there. I'm just taking a quick look here and see. Don't actually know why I looked in there. This is the one I wanted to look at. Take a look at view here just to see if I'm wrong. I don't see it. As you know, Office has a little bit different setup nowadays, and that's cool. Preview web browser, digital signatures, properties. Well, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be under properties, custom properties. No, this is all fairly basic, tied towards the actual program itself, but things run very, very well here. There's no issue if you need to convert documents from the Office format to the LibreOffice format. Here you can see some of the things that I've already converted actually over the last little while. I don't do an awful lot of work here. My new book, Revelations in Security and Privacy, is being written in LibreOffice. The one thing you do have to do is you will have to install some fonts if you're really sold on the Microsoft fonts, but there's nothing to that. And in a subsequent episode, we will actually go over installing the fonts from Microsoft and from Google for that matter, so that you can have the usual font selection that you've always had. See, I have these fonts in my certificates here. These are ones that are I've been using for a long time, and I like the old English look. I like the way they look for certificates, especially much compared to this one here as an example, which is just the standard fonts that come preloaded after the conversion. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, or there are things you would like to see me feature that, will this application run in Linux, leave a comment. I'll be happy to check into it if I don't already know and create you guys a video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell, because we're probably not going to be coming up on very easily on your suggested view list unless you click the bell, because the algorithms at YouTube and at Google and at other places don't tend to lean towards open source software like Linux. And that's because their advertisers are not open source software. They're companies like Microsoft who are paying good money too, a lot of money, to make sure their products are seen. So you're going to have to kind of take your search results in your own hands. Right? Also, clicking the notification bell, you will know immediately upon uploads, and you can get a chance, if you're not busy, to run over and have a watch. Also, check out our Patreon page. We have a lot of new goals in there and some new tiers. These are exciting times in the privacy world. We're under constant surveillance, but the idea of being able to take our privacy back is just fantastic, because we can do that. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.